here we are back once again with a new set of leaks and a new tier list that I have not changed in the slightest to work with. Let's just jump into it. You guys know what we're doing by now, right? If you didn't watch the last one, well, too bad. First, speaking of the last one, I gave everybody's favorite little purple gremlin a hard time. I gave him a hard time. You know why I gave him a hard time? Because he's ugly. That's why I gave him a hard time. Because he is a horrendously offensive to look at Pokemon. However, we were talking about Glow Up for Impidimp. We need to talk about this. This man, this Ratchet and Clank villain, look at him. Oh my lord, he was in the Sylveon tier? I'll tell you right now, we don't have a Sylveon tier Pokemon with us at the moment. This boy, he's top shelf. You want to talk about upgrading. This man evolved, and he evolved right into my heart. Next, look at this thing. Look at this thing. I find it funny that this video is not like a, oh my god, reaction, I'm gonna lay everything out for you video, but it's probably still coming out before most people do those videos. But look at this man. He has a Pokemon after him in the Dex entries, but I do not believe he evolves into that Pokemon because his design is way cooler. But I could be very wrong. This generation is really, really trying to hit me with the coolest designs imaginable. This guy, I don't even know what to say about him. He's a top shelf mon. We're going to put him right next to our little Glow Up. Moving on. Let's look at this. Brings a whole new definition to the term fruit fly. This little green goblin inside of an apple. He's such a, like, it's such a cool idea. Like, I never would have thought of it. It's one of those things where you think, yeah, like, bugs are inside of fruit. Like, why not? That's a cool, that makes sense. That's a good design. But, like, how would somebody ever... Oh, my lord. This guy, he's a most likely. Now, I already have, like, 5 members of my team discussed in the last video, and I'll say a good number of these Pokemon have completely thrown that list in the trash. I have to rethink absolutely everything I have done so far. But, you know, let's not go to this one. We'll go to Mr. Mime. Look over here. This is Galarian Mr. Mime. You took one of my favorite Pokemon and you turned him into my favorite type. Now, because he is a regional variant, unfortunately, that relegates him to second playthrough. Because I do not like using already existing Pokemon in my first playthrough of a game. But now he's there with Gigantamax Kingler. He's there with Galarian Stunfisk. Or her, my female Mr. Mime. You're right there. Isabel, welcome back. I had Isabel in my Let's Go Eevee playthrough. So welcome back, Isabel. And we got a good trend going. I feel like I should go to Mr. Rhyme, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go to the abominable snowman himself. Darmanitan. I named my Darmanitans Hot Pockets. Because Darumaka, in the olden days when people wanted to warm up as if the desert isn't warm enough already, they would take Darumaka poop and put it in their pockets. Therefore, Hot Pockets. What do I name this guy? I'm not naming him Hot Pockets. Do I name him the Adventurer from the Christmas movie I'm blanking on at the moment? Probably. Most likely. This guy's a... You know, you're not top shelf. You're so... Can I put you like... Right, I'll put you right there. That breaks all the logic of tier lists. But we're doing it. We're putting you... You're half top shelf, half most likely. We're still not moving on to you. We're saving you for a bit later. Let's move to Mr. Rhyme. Mr. Rhyme from Rhyme City. He wants to create more harmony between people and Pokemon. He's great. Look at him. He looks like Seth just arrived at Kashulian Merlin, and this is his new Yaga replacement. Sorry, Yaga, but you're getting kicked out of the building, my dude. Look at this guy. He's such a wizard equivalent to Mr. Mime. I don't think it's going to be an evolution to Mr. Mime per se, but it's just sort of like a new take. And I'm with it. He looks like a sorcerer. He's super British. I get a British feel from him, and it's not even throwing me off. It's just a good design. We're going through this a lot faster than we went through the other one. Let's go to this, because this is an older design. I shouldn't say that. This is an older leak that... Similar to Centiskorch, who I also still have on this list, I should have covered in the last video. I know I did cover Centiskorch, but now we have its 3D model, and it makes me love it way more. Hatterene, or whatever its name was. This thing has a cool design. Gives me a Malamar-esque vibe, and I quite like it. You're in the still great category. You are a very cool design that, you know, you just don't make the cut per se for my first or second playthrough, but you're up there. Moving on, we have a set of twins here we can talk about. The first one, what is this? I'm hesitant to call it a kangaroo. Is it a fossil Pokemon? Is this our set of fossils for the Galar region? Because I'd be on board with that. I think it would be cool. This, we have heard a leak. There has been, surprise, video talked about leaks, there's been a leak. There has been a leak that more or less says the Pokemon fusion is a thing. And in this leak, it mentions that no matter what two, this looks so ugly, oh my lord. No matter what two fossils you combine, you can get a Pokemon out of it. So I'm going to assume that these are the fossil Pokemon, and some jerk decided to raise this cute little baby head with two monstrous bodies that do not belong with it. That's what I'm going with. They're both cool. They're both awesome. We're putting you still great, and you're an ice type, we're putting you most likely. You know what? That's actually a lie, because I like the other one more. We're putting you both still great. You're both amazing. You're both wonderful. My tier list looks so bad now that Darmanitan's like that. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Moving on. We're going through this very quickly. Moving on. Look at this abomination. And I don't mean that in a bad way. This, allegedly, if all of these are real, which I, again, am under the belief that they are, but who knows, the game isn't out for the general public yet, so I could be proven wrong and look like an idiot after spending all this time trying to calculate my next team. This, allegedly, is a Galarian Corsola's evolution. To me, it looks like Ghost type, and I'm super with it. It's like a Ghost Christmas tree. I'm super on board. I'm not going to use it. We'll put you in the well maybe category. You're super cool. You're not quite there yet, you know. Why did I put... I only put him there because he was next to Mr. Mime. I'm putting you in still great. You're not on the second playthrough. I'm sorry, Mr. Rhyme. You're not on the second playthrough. Moving on. This thing. It's cute. It's got croissants for hair or ears. They're like little devil croissant horns, and I'm with it. Kalos, come home. You know, we didn't do enough with Kalos. I like the naming of Gossifleur. I like the croissants. These definitely aren't croissants, but that's what I'm picturing when I see them. So I'm with it. I know the furries are gonna like the, Moving on. Let's just put you in still great. I feel like you're kind of furry bait, and I'm sure, I guess, like, people appreciate those designs, not for me, but you still look dope. You're super cool. I'm gonna put you in still great. Now we're on, like, I was gonna say the big four. Realistically, we'd put Mr. Glow Up in the big four. So we're gonna go down to the big three. We're gonna move this lad out of the way. Now, this young man. I haven't seen, these leaks are still fairly fresh. I haven't seen too much about them in general, about it in general. I think it's cool. It gives me like a Golurk sort of vibe, and Golurk is one of my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. It's like a top 3 favorite ghost type, along with Dusclops, and I have no idea who else. Dusclops and Golurk. So I'm liking... I'm Canadian, so I'm kind of feeling like an Inukshuk sort of vibe. But I'm liking it. I'm liking this. This is a cool design. I'm putting you on most likely. You're super dope. You're not quite our Afro Snowman over here, but you're up there. Now, next. Some of you may know. Don't expect you to. Some of you may know. Fossil Fighters is my favorite video game of all time. I Am Setsuna comes close, and practically every Pokemon game ever made comes close. And Fire Emblem Three Houses. Anyway, Fossil Fighters, the first one, the other ones are trash. Fossil Fighters for the DS is my favorite video game. And if there was one Pokemon in existence that gives me Fossil Fighter vibes, it's this thing. We had a little teacup elephant, and I was like, oh, that's cute, it's gonna be whatever, it's probably not gonna evolve. If it does, its evolution's gonna be kind of like iffy. I'm not gonna be with it. Look at this unit. Oh my lord, this is a top shelf mon solely because it looks like a Vivisaur from Fossil Fighters. I gotta zoom this up again. He's got the goggles. Those aren't goggles. I'm gonna say they're goggles. He's got this big claw for a snout. A trunk. A snout. Yes, an elephant with a snout. Good job, Kino. He's got this giant claw for I was about to say tusk. What is wrong for a trunk? He's got these... he's just such a cool looking mon. And I know a lot of people like elephants and want an elephant Pokemon that isn't Donphan. Sorry, Donphan. I love you. You're a tire. You're dope. But this is the elephant Pokemon we deserve. Top shelf. Moving on. We've already talked about Centiskorch. And I had Centiskorch and still great. That's changing. Look at this 3D model. Look at this. Look at this facial hair. James Turner? He must really, really like facial hair, because he's given it to every Pokemon he can. This guy is great. Look at this thing. Centiskorch? Like, I put you in still great? You're going on, like, top shelf, dude. You just got mega upgraded. That 3D model, look at this. I'm doing it. Back up. Look at this. This 3D model is so good. And I love with the Switch palette that we get colors back. 3DS, it looked like every Pokemon was sun bleached. Like they were left out for a little bit too long, you know? But with the colors back now, you look great. You're a top shelf mon, Centiskorch. Now, moving on. We need to talk about this, Game Freak. Game Freak? We need to talk about this design. We really, really do. We need to talk about this design. Whoever made this, if it was James Turner, I don't know if Toby Fox designed a Pokemon, if he came in and he said, screw composition, I'm designing something. Whoever made this, triple that person's salary. It looks like it's going to be a pseudo-legendary. In the Pokedex, it comes just before Zacian and Zamazenta. It's most likely a pseudo. It's also on the team. This thing's going on the squad. If you want to click out of the video because you're just waiting to know where I'd put this, it's on the squad. This is possibly the best designed Pokemon I have ever seen. And if this isn't real, I might cry. Maybe I shouldn't go that far. That's the best. It's not like I'm gonna have to use it before I'm like, oh, sorry, Kingler, kicking you out. Tauros, hit the road. Nidoqueen, peace out. Hitmonchan, punch you in the face. That was a lot of Gen 1 Pokemon. Do I have a Flygon, hit the road? But this, I don't even remember what it's called. This, I'm naming it Starscream. That's just a thing that's happening. Starscream is my favorite Transformer. And I've named a few Pokemon Starscream. Like I name a lot of my Beedrill Starscream, either that or Twintel. But this is Starscream. My boy is home. This is the best Pokemon of the generation. I'm sorry, Obstagoon. This is the best Pokemon of the generation. This thing should just take up the whole tier list. See if I care. This thing is going on the squad. Thanks for watching. Check your screen for the, at this point I have a playlist. Check the screen for the I Make Fun of Poketube playlist. Or I'm Being Mean to Poketube. One of those two. Check the screen for the I Make Fun of Poketube playlist. And the previous tier list video, because why not? In case you didn't watch it, you can see all the other leaks that we have covered. Well, peace, weebs.